Hey SpongeBob, we finally found Wormy.
Dune Part 1, directed by Denis Villeneuve, and is the 2021 sci-fi epic first part adaptation of the original book of the same name by Frank Herbert, and it is the first installment of Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie trilogy. So Dune Part 1 tells the story taking place in the distant future where Paul, the heir to the House of Archcrease, is having visions of Chani, this mysterious girl, and the Emperor's forces murder uh, Paul's father and Lady Jessica's husband, so they both flee and discover Chani's tribe in the desert, so where Paula will train to fulfill his destiny. There is far more to the plot than that, but the plot is so overly complicated that I'm keeping it as simple as possible. You all know the reason why I'm reviewing Dune Part 1 because literally I am checking out Dune Part 2 tomorrow, and it just occurred to me, shit, why haven't I reviewed Part 1 yet? So here is my better late than never honest review of one of the most highly praised sci-fi epics of the 2020s and what is now one of Denis Villeneuve's most iconic films. Denis Villeneuve is not quite Greta Gerwig, Patty Jenkins, James Cameron, or Dean DeBlois for me, but he is a innovator in visuals and film, no denying. I can see the enormous fan base for him, with Blade Runner 2049 still being his true work of art, in my opinion. And when Dune Part 1 released in 2021, everybody loved the shit out of this movie. Because it was initially supposed to release in November 2020. It was even filmed in 2019 and completed in time for its 2020 release. And if it wasn't for COVID, we would have seen this movie a year sooner. And but uh, in terms of what most people would pick as their favorite movie of 2021, majority would vote Dune Part 1. Heck, if this movie winning 6 Academy Awards isn't evidence enough for how loved it is, I don't know what will. And I have always found Dune Part 1 to be just kind of overrated. Now. This is a review, so a criticism of even a movie as uh, uh, in ridiculously high praised as Dune is allowed. Dune is still a uh, uh, enjoyable setup and warm up before Dune Part 2 and 3 to come. And it is no question uh, technical marvel. But yeah, I do think it's one of Denis Villeneuve's weaker movies in comparison to his others. We can't see the big picture with Dune just yet, but I'm guarantee you by the time the trilogy is done, I'm sure I will rank Dune Part 1 at the bottom. I'm also sorry, but I don't think Duna deserved to win more awards than No Time to Die that year. I'm sorry, but for me, No Time to Die was not only was the stronger film in cutting edge visuals, but also in terms of score by Hans Zimmer, because Dune is the second movie in 2021 to be composed by Hans Zimmer. The Duda was truly going for the Academy Award for Best Original Score that year. I mean, but I I do think Dune Part One is one of his more uh, so and so scores, but not nearly as amazing as No Time to Die's. Sorry, Dune fans, but nothing beats Final Ascent in 2021. For what Dune Part 1 does uh, get right, it does hit the nail on the head. I have the utmost respect for Denis Villeneuve for tackling such a extraordinarily complex book like Doom. It is far from the easiest book to adapt to film, and I am not compelled to read the book anytime soon because of how damn long it is. But I did see that my sister and her fiance do have a copy of it in their home, so I may just take a peek sometime. And you can see Denis Villeneuve's passion for the source material, and yeah, uh, he did do his best to make this like the next Star Wars, and the cast is off the charts awesome here. Timothy Chalamet, one of my favorite actors right now, and particularly in the Greta Gerwig movies, he is the guy to play Paul. Discovering what he was meant for, and I just uh, was so fond of the bond between him and his mother, Lady Jessica, who is a super strong movie mother character and one of Rebecca Ferguson's all-time greatest roles. In fact, I'd go as far as saying she is the best performance of the entire movie, bar none. I would say Zendaya as Chani, but she is barely in part one. She's just in it for 5 minutes. So the best of her is still yet to come in part two, of course. But yeah, that's one of my nitpicks with Doom Part One: the lack of Zendaya's Chani, but the journey to her is so rewarding and well worth it by the third act. And even Oscar Isaac as Paul's father, the Duke of the House of Archers. Yeah, it's it is his mistakes that lead to the uh, Paul and his mother losing their home and everything they've known. And my God, his death is it's it is bone chilling, like naked body just lying there in the chair. I mean, Denise Villeneuve did not hold back from the darker tone of the source material. Yeah, Dune certainly has some horror elements to it and some creepiness, especially the moments with the Emperor on his throne and his black cloak, and it does make you uh, ask the question, oh my god, how are they going to possibly uh, defeat this guy in the future sequels? And after seeing what him and his forces are capable of in this movie, and even Jason Momoa and Hania Bardem are terrific here. Uh, Jason Momoa's second signature Warner Brothers role after Aquaman. Javier Bardem's performance in this and Triton in the trash Little Mermaid remake are worlds between here. And this may be a light on action setup movie, but the sheer scope of this film is unmatched. This is one of the most uh, glorious looking sci-fi epics since the Avatar movies. And the majority of this movie was shot in Budapest and Dubai and Jordan. So them filming it in a real desert and holding back on the CGI does make you thirsty, and you feel the humidity and the harshness of this desert planet. And even the sandworms when they come up, the sandworms that resemble the uh, uh, killer earthworms from Tremors, this movie nails them down to a T. It just has a budget of $165 million, and you find that hard to believe because of how uh, great it looks. It looks superior to movies that have cost far more than that. But why I have rarely gone back to this movie. I just recently rewatched it on Netflix to prepare for this review. In the first half of this film, with all the political setup, my interest is just not there. It takes its time and takes longer than necessary for uh, the interesting stuff to go down. And but thankfully, the second half of this movie puts the first half to shame, trust me. And once we get to the Paul and his mother escaping the chaos and finding Shani, that is when the story is at its strongest. But yeah, Denise Villeneuve certainly could have paced this one, the first half, far better. It's as if he uh, was. It's as if he slowed down time itself for when he was filming the first half of this movie. That's how dull it is. It's 2001: A Space Odyssey, slowly paced at times, while it's not half as boring as Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1. It's certainly more of a drag to sit through than in comparison to Deathly Hallows Part 1. So overall, I totally get Dune Part One's extreme popularity. It's uh, certainly laid the groundwork just fine for what was to come. Is it the best movie of 2021? No spells no in my book, but it's certainly one of the best looking from that year.
I give Dune Part 1 3 stars out of 5. Good movie.
So yeah, and I am 99% positive that Dune Part 2 is going to make Dune Part 1 look like total small fry in comparison. Well, I love you guys so much. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What are your thoughts on Dune Part 1? I think you're all going to praise it far higher than I am, but still, please comments and let me know. Please like the video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. And stay tuned for my thoughts on Dune Part 2, everybody's most anticipated movie this March. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.